We've got a bumper episode for you this week, looking at 3 matches, and first up, it's Fred Yahai versus Dak Draper. We've spoken about this before. In the pure division, when you get 2 talented grapplers, sometimes the traditional lockup is not how things begin. In this case, our competitors are looking for wrist control. If you can control the wrist of your opponent, it completely nullifies any attack with that hand. So you'll see both these competitors going for that position right at the start. And then after an interesting back and forth, I want to point you to Fred Yahai's low single attack on Dak Draper. Fred Yahai shoots deep for that low single, and that completely takes away the center of gravity for Dak Draper. But we know how talented Dak Draper is as a grappler, so check this out. Rather than just go down to the mat, he knows exactly what to do. He claims that grip, isolating the leg, but then he advances it by looking for the ankle of Fred Yahai. Now watch this, even though Fred Yahai has the low single on Dak Draper, by grabbing the ankle, that compresses the legs of Fred Yahai, meaning he cannot fully explode and complete the takedown. Very quick reactions from Dak Draper, but Fred Yahai manages to just scrappily get out of that hold and claim the waist of Dak Draper, much to his frustration. Fantastic technical wrestling display right at the start.
The best way to do this now is to go for the wrist and the grip, and you see Yahai staying on top of that, changing the grip.
Now that Dak Draper has been unable to dominate with the technical wrestling exchange, what he's had to do is switch up his strategy, and that's the smart thing to do. He needs to make a statement with his size. He takes one of my favorite, most simple, most effective maneuvers to do so in professional wrestling, using the classic maneuver we call the Beal.
You are disqualified, and that person is fired from Ring of Honor. Ooh, there's a 20 count on the outside.
This move is typically done from the corner, and it's very similar to the hip toss. But the difference for Draper here is, rather than search for the underhook, what he does is instead place his hand underneath the tricep, where the tricep attaches to the shoulder joint. At that point, he will then explode upwards, and that sends your opponent flying across the ring, and it really lets them know who the bigger person is.
I think they're frustrating each other. Pretty evenly matched up so far.
Yeah, determinate. Wow, look at that.
Going right for the throat. Whoa. Backhand. Oh, open hand. Oh, swinging knee!
It's easy to see here why, in my opinion, Fred Yahai is one of the most creative grapplers in the game today, and specifically in the pure division as well. And Dak Draper knows that too, and perhaps that's why he had to resort to using the closed fist. You don't get disqualified, but you do get a warning. Draper clearly felt that that risk was worth it, because he used that, and then very quickly a barrage of strikes later sets him up for the Magnum KO.
Wait a minute!
That was a punch!
That is a close fist!
Draper has been issued a warning for the use of a closed fist.
Wow! Yahai in trouble here.
The Magnum KO.
Could it be fireman's carry position? Magnum
That's
KO!
gonna do it, Riccaboni, I promise you that
Hooks
much.
the leg!
Yep.
Draper gets him!
Dak Draper is victorious, advancing in the rankings, but with an asterisk because he used the closed fist. I'm looking forward to see what Fred Yahai is going to do next, because clearly the future is bright for both these individuals in the thriving pure division. Next up, we've got Tony Deppen taking on Kenny King. And in the pre-match interview, Deppen acknowledges, look, I know I'm going to have eyes on the back of my head. Anyone does when they face a member of LFI, and tonight is no different. Kenny King proves that hypothesis correct when he offers the hand for the Code of Honor, and as soon as Deppen reluctantly agrees, he hits Deppen with the forearm, immediately taking control of the matchup.
Looking for the Code of Honor with the left hand, and never trust a man who tries to shake your hand on the left side.
Now, whilst I don't agree with the methods, I will give praise to the technique. Now check out this snap suplex from Kenny King. This is the perfect maneuver if you are perhaps bigger or stronger than your opponent. It means you don't have to just go with the standard suplex where you will press your opponent up and they will fall back down, letting gravity do the work. In this case, what you will do is hook your opponent up, and you will will explode at the exact same time that you will drop your body weight to the ground, and at that moment you will explode with your hips, delivering much more force than the regular suplex. Kenny King is a veteran of the game and he knows exactly what he's doing.
Tag champ, current tag champ, Tony Deppen up and over. Springboard, catches in, there you go. Nice Mexican arm drag, springboard style. It's Tony Deppen up and around, caught by Kenny King. Kenny King with the power advantage. Gonna be able to do almost whatever he wants to Deppen.
But as we've seen in Ring of Honor many times recently, if you go for the same strategy twice, that is giving your opponent a chance to counter. That's exactly what happens next. When Tony Deppen baseball slides to the outside of the ring, Kenny King is prepared, Tony Deppen runs in and he picks him up, going for that power slam position once again. But because Tony Deppen has so much speed and momentum built up, he doesn't stop with the power slam. Tony Deppen can actually spin right through and counter that power slam position into the DDT, what we would call a satellite DDT. And also, to add extra insult to injury, is on the outside of the ring.
And Deppen, unforced error there. Kenny King, chin checker. And Deppen, wow, Tiger Driver, 1, 2.
Here is where the critical mistake is made. Rather than allow the referee to count the 3 count, he lifts up the shoulders of Tony Deppen, effectively forfeiting the victory right there, saying he's not done, he's not done. This is perhaps where confidence crosses over into arrogance, because of course he then sets him up in the royal flush position and it is immediately countered with the side inside cradle from Tony Deppen.
Deppen on his shoulders.
He's taking too much time.
Wait a minute, inside cradle. 1,
He's got
2.
it perfect. That's it.
Deppen.
As usual, when LFI are involved, it breaks down to immediate chaos because it becomes a 3-on-1 beatdown, and then who shows up by returning Brodie King? Roosh then comes to the ring and it is just all out carnage. Now, LFI might have lost the battle. Have they won the war? Is it going to continue? Who knows? But I will say this, if you've got a title match against Jay Lethal, the last thing that you want to be worrying about is an angry Brodie King. That is enough multitasking for any human being to handle, and let's see if the champ can do it.
What the hell is this? Bestia del Ring. Oh, God!
Last up, it's main event time with Flamita versus Flip Gordon, who's had a very rebellious streak. His actions have got him kicked out of the pure division, with the Ring of Honor board of directors showing they are serious when it comes to breaking the rules.
And that will get you kicked out of the pure division real quick. Kick to the mid.
This match kicks off quickly, and after a brief exchange, we see Flamita is able to catch Flip Gordon off guard with an extremely snappy Hurricane Rana.
Continue. And Flip took issue with that.
Flamita aims to follow up with the baseball slide, but a very interesting counter from Flip Gordon. He simply ducks out the way, and when Flamita lands on the ground, all Gordon has to do is turn around and spear him. Again, I don't agree with the methods, but I can't argue with the results.
Nice bed chop.
To quote Ric Flair, it's hard to be humble when you're that damn good, but as we saw earlier in the episode, sometimes confidence can become arrogance. And perhaps that happens when Flamita once again goes for the baseball slide and Flip Gordon does the exact same evasion as before. And we've seen this story before. If you go for the same move, the same evasion twice, it gives your opponent the opportunity to respond.
Beautiful. Moonsault.
Wow.
This is one of the most beautiful moonsaults I have ever seen. Check out this second rope moonsault to the outside. Perfection from Flamita. Now, this isn't so much a move, but I just want to bring this to your attention, and I want to play this in slow motion because this is one of the most incredible things visually that I've seen in a while in pro wrestling. Check this out. Flip Gordon has Flamita elevated on his shoulders. He goes to throw him off, and let's slow this right down. Watch this. He throws Flamita off, and look how high and how much rotation there is here. That is incredible athleticism from Flamita right there.
Big Flamita. Standing switch, go behind, rolls, flip through.
But here is where the match gets extra interesting. He goes through the ropes, looking to hit that double kick to the face of Flip Gordon, who catches it, uses that strength we were talking about to power him onto the shoulders. And then something unusual happens. A chair is slid into the ring. If you want to find out who that is and what impact it had on the finish of the match, you gotta watch Ring of Honor television. This has been Technique Tuesdays, and I've been the prestigious one, Joe Hendry. I want to say a sincere thank you for watching and supporting this show. Thanks to Ring of Honor for supporting me and allowing me to continue to make content. I can't wait to get back over there. I want to get on a plane as soon as it is safe to do so. I will be there. You can count on that. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Head over to shophonor.com, and we will see you next time.
Friday, March 26th, Ring of Honor Wrestling celebrates its 19th anniversary on pay-per-view. Throughout the years, one thing remains the same: ROH is synonymous with excellence. See ROH athletes such as the Briscoe Brothers, Matt Taven, The Foundation, La Facción Ingobernable, and many more. Championships will be defended and legacies will be defined. Find out why honor has always been real. Friday, March 26th, it's our 19th anniversary on pay-per-view.